My child, listen to me now. You did not arrive at this moment by chance. I brought you here through a door that heaven opened just for you. There is something stirring inside you that not everyone can see, but I see it. And I have chosen this very moment to reach you. What I am about to share is deep, and it matters. I ask only that you listen with an open heart, all the way to the end, because there is something waiting for you that has already been set in motion. This breath you are taking right now marks a turning point. It is not an ordinary moment. It is the threshold of something new, something I have been preparing for longer than you know. To turn away now would mean missing what I have carried toward you through every season of your life. So stay with me. Let your spirit settle. Let your heart open. I have walked beside you through every step, even the ones that felt unbearable. I know the weight you have carried. I know the tiredness that has settled into your bones. But today, I am not going to speak about your burdens. I am not going to remind you of your struggles. Instead, I want to remind you of something you may have forgotten. The quiet strength that has carried you this far. I saw you stand when your legs were shaking. I saw you choose hope when fear was louder. I saw every small act of courage that no one else noticed. You have carried much, my child, but today is the day to set it down. Perhaps you have wondered if I truly hear you. Perhaps in the quiet hours, you have asked whether your prayers reach me at all. Listen closely. I hear everyone. I hear the words you speak and the ones you cannot find. I hear the sighs that rise from the deepest part of you, the ones you think no one notices. You were not shouting into silence. You were heard. I know there were nights when you held back your tears so no one else would worry. I know there were days you smiled while everything inside you was breaking apart. I did not judge you for that. I drew closer instead. I moved quietly so as not to press on a heart that was already so tired. And today, with my own voice, I tell you I have come to meet you exactly where you are. You may ask, why now? Why this moment? Why this particular word? I will tell you why. It is because you reached the place where you could not carry it alone anymore. It is because your own plans ran out, your strength wore thin, and even your faith felt like it was fading. That is exactly where I step in. I do not arrive late, my child. I arrive when everything that once held you up has fallen away, so that you will know without question that it was my hand that lifted you. Do you remember the promises you once carried? The ones you thought had expired? Do you remember the hopes you buried because you stopped seeing any sign of them? I have kept everyone. Nothing spoken in faith is ever lost with me. If you have waited with tears, prepare now to gather what comes with joy. Those who sow in tears will reap with songs of gladness. And you sowed more others ever saw. You gave when you had little left to give. You loved when it was not returned. None of that was wasted. Every quiet act of faithfulness was recorded. And today I have come to honor it. Your story will not be remembered for its pain. It will be remembered for what I did within it. Today, I cancel the words that were spoken over you in moments of weakness. The labels that were never true. The verdicts that tried to define you. I am writing something new in my own hand starting now. What I am bringing to you is not small. It is not partial. And it is not hidden. It will be clear enough that even those who once doubted you will have to recognize that something greater touched your life. It will be so complete that when you look at yourself, you will see someone different. Not someone carrying old weight, but someone carrying purpose. There is a quiet truth I want you to understand. Some people only stand at the edge of what I am doing. Others step fully into it day after day. The difference is not luck. It is the willingness to receive, to trust, and to let go of what no longer serves you. You have been faithful in the waiting. Now, I invite you into the receiving. I know your heart has held questions you never said out loud. I know you have wondered if your life truly matters, if anyone notices the quiet battles you fight. My child, I notice. I have always noticed. And today, I am asking you to set those questions down and to simply receive what I have already prepared. Let your spirit be still. Let your heart open wide, because what is coming next will reach into the deepest places, the ones you thought no one could ever touch. You have stood at crossroads like this before, my child, unsure whether the voice calling you forward was truly mine. There were moments you hesitated, moments you second-guessed every step, wondering if you were imagining the whisper that stirred your heart. Today that uncertainty ends. My voice is clear, and it is calling you by name. This is not another ordinary day slipping by unnoticed. This is the day of decision, the day the fog lifts and the way forward becomes plain. Let go of the sorrow tied to what is behind you. Release the words that tried to convince you that you were not enough, that you were too far gone, that your best days had already passed. Those words were never true. What is true is this: you are deeply loved, you are chosen, and your moment to rise has come. Hold on to me now and let everything else fall gently from your hands. My beloved one, I entered the most hidden place inside you, the place where even you have been afraid to look. It is the room where you kept the broken thoughts, the years of disappointment, the silences that built up over time. I did not enter with judgment. I entered with tenderness. I did not come with questions. I came with answers. I did not come because you called out loudly. I came because even in your silence, your soul was reaching for me. You have no idea how many times I watched you in the early hours of the morning, too tired to pray, too worn down to find the words, and still I heard you. I do not listen only to voices. I listen to... I understand the silences. I saw you swallow your tears so no one else would worry. I saw you pretend everything was fine while everything inside you was falling apart. I did not turn away from that. I leaned in closer. I came near quietly so I would not press on a heart that was already at its limit. And today, in my own voice, I tell you I entered that place to save you. What seemed like ruin to you was to me simply the ground where I planted the greatest revelation of your life. I was not distant when you felt the weight of your sorrow in silence. I did not step back when you felt directionless. I hid myself within the quiet so I could meet you with something eternal. I am the one who turns endings into beginnings. I am the one who finds you among the pieces of broken plans and places a new purpose into your hands with my own care. You may wonder why this did not happen sooner. Listen closely. It was not the right time yet. If I had come when you wanted, you might have mistaken my hand for your own effort. You might have believed you achieved it alone. But now, after so much wear, after so many attempts that seemed to lead nowhere, you know that only something greater than yourself could change this story. And here I am. I am that presence. I am the one who reorders what time tried to undo. I am the voice that overturns human conclusions and writes a new path over your life with my own hand. Nothing can stop what I have already set in motion. Nothing can block what has been released over your house. Because when I decide to move, no opposing wind can stand against it. You did not know it, but every loss, every delay, every closed door was part of a design I had not yet revealed to you. It was necessary for you to walk through the mist so you could learn to depend on me. It was necessary for your pride to grow quiet so you could hear the whisper of my spirit. And now that you are more humble than strong, more surrendered than rushed, I can finally give you what I always wanted to give you. A promise that does not rest on your strength, but on my faithfulness. I saw you when you were on the verge of giving up, when you no longer wanted to ask for anything else, when you decided to stop waiting because the waiting itself felt like more disappointment. But what you did not know was that in that very hour, your hope was fading. My spirit was already moving over your name. You were remembered in the highest place. You were named where destinies are decided. You were honored in the silence. And today, I have come to make visible what I planted in secret within you. This is not just another day. This is not just another word. This is the day your story turns in a new direction. The pain you carried will not be wasted. The rejection you endured will not be meaningless. The unfairness you went through will be turned into honor. Because I have the power to redeem what others meant to use against you. What was meant to shame you, I will use to lift you up. Not for revenge, but as a testimony. Not to prove your strength, but so that everyone may see my hand upon you. If you are still here listening, it is not by chance. It is because something in your heart recognized this voice as true. I want you in this moment to speak something out loud, even if only in your spirit. Say it as a declaration, not a request. Because what you confess now becomes the seal of what I have already begun. Declare your amen if you believe. I do not ask for this declaration because I need to hear it. I ask because you need to say it. Because speaking it moves something in the unseen places. The places where chains have held on far too long. When you say it, you are not performing a ritual. You are opening a door. And to those who open the door with humility, I respond with abundance. There is a quiet ache you have carried. The feeling that perhaps you were forgotten. That opportunities had already slipped past you. But hear me now. What looked like delay was, in truth, a season of preparation. Nothing on your road has been without meaning. Every step, every obstacle, every person who walked away has guided you closer to this very encounter. And I want there to be no confusion about this. Your past holds no authority over you unless you give it that power. Your future calls you forward, and I have already set good things in motion for you. I know what you have lost. I know what you long for that never arrived. I know the plans that crumbled, the people who left without explanation. And I know it was not fair, but it was necessary. Because while you were building on uncertain ground, I was preparing solid rock beneath your feet. While you reached for comfort, I was preparing something far deeper. Something that will not shift when life around you does. What you lost cannot compare to what I'm about to place in your hands. My child, I know there were moments you believed the storm had come to destroy you. I know there were times you looked around and everything seemed to be sinking. People drifted away. Doors that once stood open began to close. Time itself seemed to slow down, and you wondered, where are you? And why are you not doing something? But while your eyes saw chaos, mine saw purpose. I did not send that storm to punish you. I allowed it so that you could see who I am, even in the middle of what you could not understand. I was with you in every tremor. I held your life steady even when you believed you would not make it through. And though you did not know it, every wave that rose was measured by my hand. You were never beyond my reach. I let you walk through that trial, not to watch you fall, but to show you my faithfulness. I let you walk through the fire, not to consume you, but to refine you. I let you walk through the valley, not to break you, but to teach you that my presence walks with you even there. So that even in the shadow of loss, you would fear nothing, because I am with you. That was not abandonment, that was preparation. What seemed like an ending was actually a foundation being laid. What felt like punishment was, in truth, covering. In the middle of that storm, I was closer to you than ever. But I stayed quiet because I wanted you to learn to hear me with your heart, not just with your ears. You were hoping for something visible, something immediate, some outward change. But I chose to work first in what could not be seen. In your character, in your faith, in your discernment, in your dependence on me. Before I changed your circumstances, I wanted to change you. And I did, even if you did not notice it happening. Even while you thought you were simply surviving, you were being shaped. Today you can look. There are wounds that no longer control your decisions. There are words that no longer cut as deeply as they once did. There are prayers that now rise with more faith than before. That is a sign that the storm did not defeat you, it matured you. I know what you lost. I know what you hoped for that never came. I know the plans that fell apart, the people who left without explanation. And I know it was not fair, but it was necessary. Because while you were building on shifting ground, I was preparing solid rock. While you searched for comfort, I was preparing something with purpose. What you wanted was stability, but I had something greater in mind for you. What you were looking for was relief, but I was bringing you toward your calling. Now you understand what you lost cannot be compared to what I am about to give you. The storm was the threshold. What comes now is revelation. After the wind comes the voice. After the fire comes direction. After the shaking comes presence. And here I am, opening your eyes to see what you could not see while you were weeping. I am showing you the gold that remained after the testing. I am breathing on the ashes so a new fire can rise. I am touching your tired feet so you can walk again. But this time, you will not walk alone. You will walk in my rhythm, under my promise, under my covering. Because what you survived was not without meaning. It was a sign that my hand has been with you the whole time. I do nothing without purpose. And everything I allowed in your life, even the hardest parts, I will use for good. All things work together for good for those who love me. Yes, my child, even the things you do not understand,